This mace has custom enchantments, and this potion can kill players in creative mode. Here are 107 Minecraft facts that will completely blow your mind. You may know camels can keep you safe from hostile mobs like zombies and vindicators, but did you know striders can protect you as well? They're just tall enough to protect you from baby mobs like baby zombies and pigmen. We all know pistons can push blocks, but did you know that they can break them too? If you rapidly toggle a piston with a gravity-affected block like sand on top, the continuous movement can eventually cause the block to break. How is this pig falling so slowly? You can slow a pig's descent by quickly toggling a carrot stick on and off your selected hotbar slot. Each toggle resets the pig's momentum. However, make sure to hop off the pig right before touching the ground, or else you'll take a lot of fall damage. The pig will end up dying either way if there's no water below. Most people know that charged creepers can be used to get a skeleton skull. However, what's lesser known is that this actually works on wither skeletons as well. A charged creeper will drop a wither skeleton skull 100% of the time. Harming potions are overpowered in PvP because they bypass all armor. But what's even more overpowered are tipped arrows of harming. Each of these arrows will deal instant damage, and the bow doesn't even have to be fully charged, so you can rapid fire harming them and still do loads of damage. You can even kill someone in full netherite gear in only 2 harming bow shots. This is not fair! How does this water exist? There aren't any barrier blocks or hidden tricks. The water is just floating there. To create this cursed water, place down slime blocks like so, and pour water down the top. Then plant seagrass at the bottom and use bone meal to make it grow 2 blocks tall. Once done, break the outer slime blocks, and surprisingly, the water won't flow out. You can even run lava into this cursed thing to create a cobblestone generator. If pistons push a block, that block ceases to be a block for a moment and becomes a block entity. So if you push something like glowstone, it will momentarily stop emitting any light. There are only 2 mobs that won't crush turtle legs. Naturally, the first is turtles themselves. The second, interestingly, is bats. This is surprising since even chickens, which might seem harmless as they flap downwards, will crush the eggs. Similarly, bees, despite only flapping their wings above the eggs, will also damage them. If you only have 1 elytra, how do you share it between 2 players? Have the player with the elytra lead a pig. The second player can then saddle the animal and mount it. This way, you guys will both be flying with a single elytra. The pig can also be exchanged out for a llama or even a strider if you prefer different animals. Cobwebs slow down player movement, but what will happen if you throw a projectile at it? Will the cobweb catch it? Nope! The snowball just travels right through like it's not even there. You can even throw an egg at an entire line of them and it'll fly right through. However, in one snapshot, things were very different. Cobwebs would actually catch projectiles like eggs, ender pearls, and snowballs and turn them into their item forms. But in the very next snapshot, this feature was removed. Check out these fireworks flying sideways. How is this possible? If you launch fireworks from inside a water stream, their trajectory will be altered. This technique allows you to create a spread-out firework display. When a llama spits at you, there isn't much you can do in the Java edition. However, on Bedrock, you can actually rebound the llama spit back. It doesn't make the most sense, but I love the feature. I can't find any beehives! If you're struggling to locate the buzzy bees, here's how to spawn one in. Planting birch trees next to flowers actually increases the likelihood of a beehive spawning on it. Yes! Now I can enslave the bees to create a honey farm! This is a coral farm, and it generates 72,000 coral per hour. The mechanism operates only in a warm ocean biome. This is because in these biomes, applying bone meal to an underwater block has a chance to spawn coral. While it's hard to imagine needing this much, it's great to have the option. Stop going through my portal! To prevent mobs from going through, place a cow inside a boat right in front of the portal. This setup blocks other entities from entering while still allowing you to squeeze through. Everyone knows you can bone meal crops to grow them quicker, but did you know bone meal can be used on flowers as well? Doing so will make a flower item drop each time you bone meal it. The feature works on all kinds of flowers, and is one of the simplest farms you can make with just a dispenser pointed at a flower. Glass blocks can be used to change the color of the beacon beam, but what's even better is that you can add in different colored glass panes to mix the colors. So when you mix, combine, and blue glass, you'll get purple. In total, there are over 12 million possible beacon color combinations you can make. Tile entities like chests, furnaces, droppers can't be moved by a piston in Java Edition. The piston won't extend when activated. However, in the Bedrock Edition, the tile entities can actually be moved. Instead of using plain ladders, use waterlogged ladders instead. They're faster than using ladders or water alone because they combine the benefits of both swimming and climbing. This lets you ascend much more quickly. If a shulker hits you into the air, here's the safest way to get you down. Now, you could try water bucket clutching, but if you have a slow reaction time, you'll likely die. Instead, just eat a chorus fruit and you'll be brought back to the ground. Never mind nether gold. Doing so only gives you a few nuggets. Instead, use a pickaxe with the Silk Touch enchantment to mine the ore, and then smelt it in a furnace. This method will produce a full gold ingot from each ore, maximizing your returns. If you hit one zombie pigman, all nearby ones will become aggressive and charge at you. But what's interesting is that if an angry pigman dies, they'll drop experience points, even if you didn't touch that one specifically. This mechanic is crucial because it allows us to create fully AFK gold experience farms. While it makes sense that netherite armor doesn't fully protect you against lava or fall damage, what doesn't make sense is that the same armor can't shield you from something as simple as a berry bush or a prickly cactus. The armor is literally made of diamonds and netherite. Hitting silverfish will cause more to come out, so the best way to kill them is just by burning them with fire or lava. Sea pickles produce more light the more you have stacked together. 4 sea pickles in the same block will actually produce more lights than a torch. Did you know you can use honey to write secret messages? Just wax certain copper blocks so the blocks around it oxidate and the message is left. The downside is that it takes quite a while for the message to reveal itself. Conduits are incredibly powerful. They allow you to mine quicker, see clearer, and breathe underwater. However, they also have a hidden ability. Conduits actually attack nearby hostile mobs. I had no idea that was possible. When you kill a fish, it'll drop a fish item. However, they actually can drop another strange item. Salmon, cod, tropical fish, and pufferfish will have a 5% chance to drop bone meal. So if you're dedicated enough, you can create a bone meal farm out of just fish, but it'd be very inefficient. When a mob drowns, notice anything strange? Instead of bubbles appearing near the head, they appear below at the feet. Does this mean mobs breathe through their toes? Boats on soul sand can jump up to 1.5 blocks high when a player is riding them. However, if you place blocks like trapdoors or fence gates above the water, the boat can achieve a jump of 2 blocks high with a player on board. This mechanic allows us to create higher boat jumps that climb upwards. This is a working chair. You're actually able to sit down on it. It seems impossible, but it's made by putting a saddled pig under a trapdoor. To hide the saddle, apply a dinner bone name tag to it to flip it over. Gold farms are perfect for getting loads of experience and gold, but you'll also get a bunch of useless swords. They're pretty pointless on their own, but if you smelt them down in a furnace, you'll get a single nugget of gold. Well, not much. Over time, it'll add up. And with auto crafters, you can even craft them straight into full ingots. In Minecraft, only 3 blocks naturally generate across all dimensions. The first is bedrock, which appears at the bottom of the overworld, the top of the nether, and on the end pillars. The second is obsidian, found in ruined portals both in the overworld and the nether, as well as on the end pillars. The last block is the chest, which is present in various dungeons and structures in all dimensions. Owie! Sweet berry bushes hurt you when you walk into it, but they can actually save your life. The berry bushes negate all fall damage when you land in them, so the bushes can be used to clutch. Did you know diamonds and turtle eggs have something in common? If you check out the outline of both the items, you'll see they have the same exact shape. If you want a super detailed rug, you can use custom map art to create these unique designs. Or if you want a custom wallpaper, try hanging maps on your walls. My house is so special. Rideable mobs like horses and llamas can naturally regenerate hearts, but it's very slow at a rate of 2 hearts per minute. However, one mob that regenerates extremely quickly is the allay. They regenerate 2 entire hearts per second, and it's so fast that it can't die from drowning, powdered snow, or even suffocation. You're too powerful! Do you see the button? It's right here. The stone button blends in super well with stone blocks. So if you're trying to hide a secret door, a great way to do so is just hiding it in plain sight. How is this lamp turned on? It looks like it has no power source, but if you look on top of it, you'll find an item frame powering a pressure plate. You're able to place a pressure plate on top of an item frame, and when you step on it, the item frame holds the pressure plate down. The bottom of a barrel looks similar to a spruce plank, making it an excellent option for secret storage. You can cleverly hide barrels among your spruce floor, and then placing a bed on top, or even just putting a few barrels underneath your chest. While intruders might raid your visible storage, they'll likely overlook the true valuables hidden right beneath them. Automatic chicken farms are incredibly easy to make and will provide you unlimited food, but there's a way to make them even more efficient. By trapping a fox near the farm and giving it a looting fire aspect sword, it'll make the chickens drop extra food and cook it at the same time. There are many types of stones like diorite, andesite, and basalt. However, oddly enough, we can't use these stones to craft tools. What's even more puzzling is that we can't make a stone pickaxe using pure stone blocks. When you're mining, avoid throwing your items on the floor. If a zombie picks up even a single item, it won't despawn. Eventually, after doing this for a while, you might end up with a cave filled with zombies. The witch's hut might appear simple, but it's hiding a dark secret. In every witch's hut, a black cat will naturally spawn. But that's not the strange part. If you spawn cats here in creative mode, it will result in only black cats spawning. How is this possible? When crying obsidian was first added, it looks like this. However, the block ended up getting removed, and it wasn't until 7 years later that it got re-added with the texture we all know. Help! Mobs keep spawning in my base! If you're having trouble finding dark areas that need more torches, try setting your brightness to moody. This will make it easier to spot the areas that need more light to prevent mob spawning. If you place lava down, it will light up the surrounding area. However, trying the same thing with magma blocks won't work so well. Even though they have magma in the name, it somehow doesn't produce any light. Zombies can occasionally break down wooden doors. And if you don't want to use an ugly iron door, there's an easy solution. Just invert the placement of your wooden doors. Zombies are programmed to break only the external side of a door, so they won't be able to break through an inverted door. To ensure your door is inverted correctly, open the F3 debug screen and check that it says Open True, or the door is visually closed. Now you can rest easy knowing zombies won't be barging in. The Ender Chest gives each player a private storage system, but it wasn't always like this. When it was first added in Snapshot 12W21A, the same Ender Chest inventory would be shared by the entire server. This is Minecraft's safest base by Carves, with 13 rings of deadly defenses, protecting a single castle in the middle. But it's not actually that good. With an elytra, you can just fly over the entire thing. Or if you consider that cheating, pro player Canadian was able to just run through the entire thing without breaking a sweat. Okay, this base stinks! You can't enter your swimming animation in water that's only 1 block deep, which makes normal swimming very slow. However, there's a faster way to get across. Hold an empty bucket, look down at the water, and continuously hold the right-click button. This method lets you almost run across the pond. Minecraft paintings are a great decoration, but they're static. For a more dynamic decoration, considering creating a pixel art map. Then by rotating the map inside of an item frame, you can simulate a stop-motion animation. The car looks like it's moving around the city here. If you open a barrel, you'll see a black texture inside. But it wasn't always like that. When the barrel was first added to the Bedrock edition, there was an unused texture called Fish Barrel, so we almost had different barrel types in the game. It'd have been pretty cool to see a barrel full of whatever items are inside. Placing lava on top of a block will cause lava droplets to seep below, but for some reason, the drops of lava aren't able to hurt mobs or catch things on fire. It makes no sense! When you craft stairs, something strange happens. Somehow, 6 blocks of wood equals 4 stair blocks, which doesn't add up since each stair isn't a full block. I guess Steve is just really wasteful with his wood. If you're constantly getting lost in caves, there's a simple solution. Place torches on the right side of the wall. So now when you're trying to find the exit, you can just follow the left side torches. Finally! I'm out! Channeling tridents are great for electrifying mobs, but the main downside is that you might accidentally kill the mob. There's a solution though. Channeling tridents actually work on item frames. So next time you want to charge a creeper, just throw the trident at an item frame to safely convert it. If you're being chased by phantoms, never jump into the water. Phantoms surprisingly ignore the water and can glide right at you. Ah! Help me! How quickly does a hopper transfer items? A hopper can move 9,000 items per hour or 150 items per minute. Although this might sound fast, it's relatively slow for most contraptions. This transfer rate often leads to clogs in storage machines that rely on fast item movement. Darn it, my machine broke again! If you hold Alt while scrolling through the world options, you'll land on the debug world. Here you'll find every single Minecraft block and their various block states. You can even change your game mode and do some pretty cool survival challenges here. Beacons are extremely tough blocks since they're made out of obsidian. However, they can actually be mined with a fist and the item will drop. If I had to guess, Mojang probably doesn't want your hard-earned beacon to break just because you used the wrong tool. By combining a glass pane with a map inside of an item, you'll lock the map state. This way you can keep logs of how your base changed over time. If you get stuck on top of the nether roof without any items and in hardcore, how do you get out? There's actually a way out and it doesn't involve any cheating. While you may think this is impossible, the solution is pretty simple. All you have to do is open your world to LAN so your friends can join and rescue you. But what if I don't have any friends? You're out of luck. To activate the conduit, you need to surround it with at least 16 prismarine blocks, which will reveal a blue heart in the center. However, if you place up to 42 prismarine blocks around it, the range of the conduit's effects will increase from 32 to 96 blocks. When fully maximized, the heart in the center opens up and changes to a yellow color, resembling an eye. The bottom side of droppers make for quite a pretty floor design, and with so many of them on the floor, you can also hide your valuables in one of them. The chances someone finds the exact one with all your gear is extremely low. Campfires are commonly used to cook food, but they can also be used as a hidden switch. By placing an observer beneath a campfire, you can create a system that detects when the campfire is turned on or off. This setup can be used to control hidden doors, allowing them to open when you extinguish the campfire. With 9 diamonds, you can craft a diamond block, and if you change your mind, you can revert it back into individual diamonds. However, the same isn't true for nether wart. While you can craft a nether wart block from 9 nether warts, once crafted, you can't convert it back into individual nether warts. This is intentional because nether wart blocks are super easy to get in Crimson Forest biomes. Allowing them to be reverted would make farming for individual nether warts almost pointless. When you think of falling blocks, sand and gravel likely come to mind. However, in the Bedrock edition of the game, snow layers also behave like falling blocks. If there's nothing beneath them, they will fall straight to the ground. How do you create a randomizer in Minecraft? Unfortunately, since the copper golem lost a mob vote, we're not getting a random button presser. However, there's a simple workaround. Place an observer next to a sapling. The observer will detect whenever the sapling attempts to grow. For more frequent random outputs, use multiple saplings. Make sure to have a block on top though so the sapling never fully grows into a tree. Rabbit stew is one of the most useless items. When you eat it, you'll regain 5 hunger bars, which may seem good at first until you realize that you would have gained more hunger bars by just eating the ingredients themselves to gain 6.5 hunger bars. It's a scam! With the introduction of auto crafters, gold farms have become so much better. Instead of storing thousands of gold nuggets, you can now automatically compact them into gold blocks using the crafters. What's the best way to fill this hole with water? Instead of placing water block by block, try this faster method. Place ice columns around the sides of the walls. Then mine the ice columns downwards and the water will spread evenly across your pool. Chainmail armor is almost impossible to craft. While we have access to chain items, Mojang hasn't enabled their crafting into armor. Luckily, a developer coded this mod, so if you really like chainmail armor, this will let you make it. The smithing table used to look very different. Currently, it resembles a sturdy workbench. However, when it was first added in Snapshot 18W44A, the smithing table looked more like a reinforced crafting table. It must have seemed too similar, as the texture was updated in the following update to the version we're all more familiar with now. This is a tiny chessboard. It's made using the Immersive Portals mod and shrinks down an entire board to fit on a single oak log. Although the pieces aren't functional, you can make the villagers and pillagers fight using commands. It looks super epic and is definitely my favorite decoration. Have you ever noticed something peculiar when filling up a composter? If you look closely, the texture inside the composter is actually the same as Podzo. Talk about a reality check. If you're tired of boring stairs, try these. It's a staircase made out of just water blocks, and you can swim right through them. However, I'm not quite sure if this is a water slide or water staircase. What do you think? While you can't water clutch in the nether, there's an alternative that's just as good. If you place a boat and get inside, you'll negate all full damage. The timings are difficult to master, but it's a lot better than just dying from full damage. As an added bonus, if you have a lot of boats, you can use boats to skip across large lava pools. One of the simplest farms you can create is a snow farm. To do this, simply build a snow golem by stacking 2 snow blocks and adding a pumpkin on top. Once your golem is in place, mine the snow layers that form beneath its feet. This method provides an unlimited supply of snow. Get off my chest! If a cat sits on top of a chest, you won't be able to open it. I said get off! If you dispense Frostwalker boots at a villager, it'll surprisingly be able to use them. The villager will seem like it has superpowers. If a mob stands on top of a turtle leg, it'll crack. A few turtle legs can be set on top of each other to create a timer. Although we can always just use redstone, this turtle timer is a lot more creative. If you point a dispenser at a villager, you can actually equip it with mob heads. It looks kind of goofy, but it's actually pretty useful. You can use different heads to mark how good the trays of the villagers are. Zombie heads heads can be put on the trash villagers, and dragon heads can be put on the best ones. This is the deadliest potion in all of Minecraft. It's so strong that it'll instantly kill any mob and make it not drop any items. The potion can even kill players that are in creative mode. So what is it? You may think it's something like instant harming, but it's actually the opposite. It's an instant health potion with potency level 125. If you throw the potion at yourself, you'll respawn with all your items deleted for some reason. The banner pattern item is essential for customizing banners, but it can be challenging to organize them as they all look the same. To address the issue, a texture pack was created which has unique designs for each of the banner patterns. The texture pack makes it a lot easier to tell them apart. Minecraft has unicorns? Well, sort of, because by equipping an end rod on your head, you'll look like a unicorn. If you name a rabbit Toast, it will change the rabbit's textures. But the reason behind this feature is actually quite sad. A Reddit user shared that he lost his pet rabbit named Toast about a week ago, and his family was really sad. He asked the developers if they could add his rabbit to the game so he could remember his pet each time he played. And the developers actually added it. Oh, that's so cute. In real life, all objects fall at the same speed due to gravity. However, in Minecraft, this rule doesn't apply. For instance, if you drop a sand block at the same moment you jump off a cliff, you'll notice that you reach the ground much faster than the sand block. This is a working escalator. It utilizes honey and water blocks to push you upwards. Okay, you've got to be super lazy if you use this instead of just walking up the stairs. Don't let your sheep near evokers! They'll convert all your blue sheep to red. If you're not a big fan of this, however, you can disable it from happening by setting mob griefing to false. Now you can't grief my sheep! Wither skeletons hold stone swords, but if you use commands to give them a bow, they'll shoot flaming arrows at you even if the bow is unenchanted. These guys are hacking! If your inventory is completely full but you need to carry one more shulker box, a creative solution is to give a fox a shulker box and put it on a lead. Just remember to keep some berries on hand so you can retrieve the box from the fox. Otherwise, you might have to use your sword. Sorry! On Java Edition, the Impaling enchantment deals extra damage to aquatic mobs like guardians and squids. However, on the Bedrock Edition, it's a lot more powerful. The Impaling enchantment does extra damage to all mobs that are touching water, not just aquatic mobs. So you can just place down a water bucket and deal tons of damage to all the mobs. It's overpowered! Stonecutters have a spinning blade on top, yet surprisingly, standing on it causes no damage. In contrast, if you stand on a campfire, you won't be having a great time. Ouch! A clever way to hide a button is by placing it behind a banner. The banner will completely cover the button from view, yet it remains fully functional. Use this setup to activate an ultra-secret door. Chests are great for storing items, but they can't be opened if there's a block directly above. Instead, use barrels. Barrels are slightly cheaper to craft, as they require 2 slabs in the middle instead of 2 planks, and they can still be opened even with a block on top. When placed on its side, a warped stem looks like the same texture as a warped hyphae. However, when you look on a map, you'll see that they show up as different colors. Using this feature, you can create hidden messages that can only be seen using a map. Don't hit llamas! If you accidentally hurt one, it'll spit and hurt you. Even if you're on peaceful mode, the llama will spit at you. When you use a bed in the nether, it'll explode. However, if it's nighttime in the overworld, villagers can still sleep in the nether. This isn't fair! I never knew you could craft this! Normally, if you want to get stone blocks, you'll mine underground, but it turns out you can craft it too! Diorite can be crafted with quartz and cobblestone. Andesite can be crafted with cobblestone and diorite. But what's super strange is that granite can be crafted with quartz and diorite. Neither of those ingredients are red! Never use coal to smelt! Well, 9 pieces of coal can smelt 72 items, converting them into a single coal block allows you to smelt 80 items. So you'll be able to smelt 8 extra items by just turning it all into a block. It's so worth it. When creating a staircase downward, avoid having a 2-block gap, as you'll bump your head each time you descend. Instead, just mine the extra block and install some stairs. This setup not only lets you travel up and down quicker, but also spares you the future headaches. Breaking mob spawners is a huge mistake. You only get a few experience orbs. The spawner is way better being transformed into a mob grinder where you can farm unlimited mobs. Did you know there's a way to get infinite dirt? I'm not talking about just digging it up with a shovel or using TNT. Instead, you can trade with piglins to get gravel. Combine 2 dirt and 2 gravel to get 4 coarse dirt. You can then till the coarse dirt to convert it back into normal dirt. Although this method is slower than digging, it's a useful trick if you're looking to create more blocks. You can craft a brand new golden chest plate, but if you smelt it down, you'll only get back 1 golden nugget. This happens no matter the durability or the enchantment, which is kind of a scam. Instant damage heals zombies and instant healing hurts them, so I always thought regeneration hurt zombies and poison healed them. But turns out both those effects don't do do anything to them. Please add this, Mojang. While you might not think of lava as a safe place for items, it can actually serve as an excellent hiding spot. Storage blocks like chests and barrels don't burn in lava. Therefore, hiding them within a lava pool will make them nearly impossible to discover. Each time you bite a cake, a small portion of it disappears. So by stacking a bunch of eaten cakes up like so, you can create a working staircase. Climbing up it is pretty slow though, but if you use a horse, you can soar right up the stairs. Minecarts are great for transporting entities across your world, but there's a way to make them even better. If you put a boat in a minecart, you'll get a two-person minecart. This way you'll be able to control it while carrying the mob behind you. This mace has custom enchantments. The first one is able to stun nearby mobs and spark mini lightning bolts. The second enchantment generates a shockwave that launches the mobs into the air, causing significant fall damage upon landing. The third enchantment creates a crater where it strikes. All these custom enchantments were created by McMakistein. Well, those are some wonderful Minecraft facts. Subscribe for a heavy core.